So chapter 5 had me running around absolutely confused, so I'm hoping to correct some of the mistakes that I made in this video so you guys won't have to make the same mistakes. So we're going to go over a ton of different bosses, items you're going to get, as well as where you need to go throughout chapter 5, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So starting at the Height of Ember Shrine, you are going to be after a particular item, and you're going to follow the route that I'm showing you here. These are very, very easy to miss, especially if you're just running straight through this area, but we are looking for the Amber Prayer Beads, which are going to moderately increase the speed of building up focus points. This is definitely necessary if you're trying to build up those points fast, because it does make a massive difference. Now, as you continue down the path, you're going to come into a cave, and you need to go immediately to the right. It's very easy to run past this, but there's going to be a small box, and inside will be these prayer beads. Now, the next item we're going to be looking for is definitely missable, and it's going to be the Supreme Gourd. This is going to give you 10 Gourd charges as well as 3 slots in order to put your soaks in, and it's going to heal 36% of the maximum health and moderately increase your movement speed. You're going to start at the Rakshasa Palace and follow the route straight up that I'm showing you here, and after you fight past all the enemies, you're going to veer to the left and then jump into the lava and go into a small room. You're going to see a familiar NPC's face who you can talk to and exhaust some dialogue, and then he will turn that small fire in the middle of the room into an item you can pick up, and that's going to be your Supreme Gourd. Next up, we're going to head to the Valley Entrance Shrine because we are going spirit hunting, and we're also going to come back here in a minute to get a few bosses down. But you're going to start at the Valley Entrance Shrine, and you're going to follow the route that I'm showing you past all of these stone enemies until you see an enemy with a giant shield. You can then veer to the right and turn to the right again, going all the way down this area until you come to a very large enemy. Go ahead and kill him for his spirit and open the chest for a bunch of items that you could use. His spirit is going to give you an effect that moderately increases the damage dealt by heavy attacks that cost 3 or 4 focus powers, so if you're a heavy attack user, this is definitely a spirit you want to use. Next up, we're going to go ahead and tackle a boss called the Flint Chief. This is a boss that's going to drop one of the materials you need in order to craft an absolutely amazing staff, which we will also go over at the end of the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. But you're going to start at the Valley Entrance Shrine and make your way all the way down to where the enemy with the shield was that you went right earlier, and instead you're going to jump up and go left down the lava river. After you get to the end, there's going to be a mass of rocks on the ground. Go ahead and defeat that boss in order for you to attain the Samadhi Fire Crystal. This is going to be one of 3 items you need in order to receive the Staff of Blazing Karma, giving you 100 attack, 40 defense, and plus 10 burn resistance within this chapter. And lastly, make sure you grab his spirit before you leave so we can head on to the next boss. You'll find yourself at the Ashen Pass 3, and right next to it, go into the little outcropping of rocks, and you're going to find the 9-capped Y. You're going to go ahead and kill him, and he's going to drop for you a ton of different items, but you get his spirit, his headgear, and a bunch of crafting materials. Now, continuing from the Ashen Pass 3, you're going to go into a very annoying area with a giant metal ball where you have to duck into the different corners and avoid it as it rolls through this whole area. You're going to progress all the way through and you'll get some cutscenes, but then you can travel back to the Ashen Pass 3 and follow the route that I'm showing you until you get to the right where you can veer off where fire used to be. We're going to be hunting the Flint Vangaurd boss, who's going to give us the second item we need in order to craft the Staff of Blazing Karma. This one can be a little bit difficult considering a bunch of stone guys spawned on me and I got myself in a massive mess, but eventually after you kill him, he will drop for you the second Samadhi Fire Crystal. You'll also notice that pretty much every single boss we've killed so far is going to drop a spirit for you, so definitely make sure you don't forget those. Now, continuing down the path we're on currently, you're going to find the final boss that you need in order to craft the staff. However, in order to summon this boss, it will require you to gather flame ore. I believe the first time you get here, you need 5, the second time you need 4, the third time you need 3, and so on and so forth. I died at this boss a few times. It's basically a war of attrition because she has a bunch of ads, but after you get her down, she'll drop for you the very last crystal in order for you to craft your staff. Now, if you don't have any flame ore, go ahead and go past this boss, run down the route I'm showing you all the way until the very end on the left where you're going to find a shrine. Within that shrine is going to be a store that will sell you 5 flame ore, so you can come back to this boss and summon her. However, if it does take you multiple times, this is the only time that this store will sell flame ore, and and you will have to get it from ads you find around the boss area in order to continue summoning her. Now at this point, you're going to have all the materials you need in order to get the Staff of Blazing Karma crafted, which you'll have to go back to the blacksmith and do, but it is definitely worth it, allowing you to get a massive burst of lava on the ground after you do a charged heavy attack with 3 or more focus points. Next up, you'll head back to the Rakshasa Palace, and if you went through here already, you're going to see 2 massive dudes with shields at the very end of this area. One of them is going to drop for you an item that I definitely think you need to get. This is going to be the golden button, which when you're at full health, it significantly increases attack. Now for me, this is completely useless because I'm never at full health in this game, but if you want to pick it up, these guys are not hard to kill, and they're super clunky, so just run up to them and go ahead and grab this item. Now the last thing I want to talk about is this quest line with all the different carts going through this area. I'm actually not going to cover where to get any of these because all of them are completely linear on the path and you cannot miss them, but what you can miss is talking to the ox who gives you the quest in the first place. However, I will share with you some confusion I had with this because it had me running around for about 25 minutes trying to figure out where I went wrong. As soon as you get to this cart right here, if you did the quest correctly, then the ox will be fighting this particular cart. If you didn't do it correctly, you need to go back and exhaust all of the dialogue with the ox and then come back to this location. If you've already killed this particular cart, and there was no ox there when you originally killed it, then you can still go back, exhaust all the dialogue, and then you can come back and the ox will be standing where this cart was. After you exhaust all the dialogue there, you can then head back to the cooling slope where you bought the flame ore from and continue on that route naturally, and literally right next to that shrine is going to be the final cart now appeared. The reason you need to do this is because this is how to get into the secret area within Chapter 5. You'll receive a cutscene, have to defeat this cart, and then after that you can talk to the ox and go into the secret area. And guys, that's really going to be it for all the secrets and hidden items that are off the beaten path in Chapter 5. I know that there is a Horse-Gwai quest in Chapter 5, but I messed it up in the previous chapters, so I can't cover it in this one, but if you want to look it up, I'm sure there's a ton of guides all over YouTube for it. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you watching until the end. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll see you in Chapter 6, and until next time, stay safe, enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the next one.